Okay, the Panov-Botvinnik attack against this IM, try and scare him a bit. Don't mind the isolated queen pawn if I get some attacking potential. Queen d3 here. Let's make bishop b3 to c2 maybe. Let's see, c1 first, I think. I wonder if I can exploit the queen here to play knight b5. Forcing it to go back somewhere, and then, or just a3. Maybe just a3 is better. I'll play that. Bishop f3. Maybe a takes b4 might be good. Okay, at least we're protecting the bishop, threatening bishop e6 now. Can I just, I'm going to play this bishop back to play bishop b1, rather unsubtle threats against h7 building up. Okay, I don't mind rook c3 if it repairs these pawns, but then I guess I lose a3. Bishop h4 here to play maybe bishop g3, as well as keep the tension of bishop f6. That's a bit unfortunate. Okay, queen a6. At least if the bishop's removed, then I can change the plan a bit. Try for these light square weaknesses. Anyway, my isolated pawn is fixed now, but I've just got, my isolated queen pawn, I've just swapped it for an isolated a pawn. I guess he's going to take on b1 now. But then, am I going to be comfortable with this bishop, maybe, with bishop g3, unless he's got, like, knight e4? Tricky set of decisions. Does he want to double, but leave my light square bishop on? And also, the pawn on f3 might be good, stopping knight e4s. I guess he will take on b1. After rook takes, maybe play... we can't play rook c8, but maybe knight e4. I got c4 here. I'm going to play that c4. Rook c8, I can take on a7. Right. Play rook c1 now. Stop knight c3 to protect c4. I guess bishop e7 is a possibility. Or a4 trying to dissolve this isolated pawn. a4, a5. You might have g5 and knight takes g3, so maybe if I want to preserve the bishop, maybe now is the time before he plays g5. He might play g5 next, but bishop e7, like to b4 to e1. Oh, he stops it anyway. Cruel. So a4. c5. c5 might be interesting to play queen d3. Actually a4. Let's try and dissolve this a pawn. Maybe queen b5, and if takes, a takes, and that would be quite kind of comfortable. potentially, unless black plays a5. I just thought sealing up the a6 square. Anyway, it's forcing this continuation. It's creating some potential weaknesses on the king side. So I guess something like c5 and queen d3 might expose them a bit, like g6. But do I want to play a5 first, then c5, but then I don't know. Maybe the queen's kind of useful on a6 here, exerting a bit of pressure. Alright, so knight h4, knight d1, knight d2 even. Knight d2 keeps the queen out of e4. And I'll go for that, because maybe it can also reroute to f1 to e3 to attack g4. In fact, I like this manoeuvre, knight f1 to e3, because maybe then d5, easy knight d5, big knight on d5, but on the other hand, knight c5, I don't want to give up the dark squares. It looks good though. I think I'm going to go for this. Knight f1 to e3. So I'm keeping these hanging pawns now, the tension of either c5 or d5. So that should wear the opponent out, trying to calculate, you know, am I going to keep the suspense going. Now if knight e3, queen takes, I think I've got rook d1 actually, skewering queen and knight. That's a pretty useful resource. Also queen b7 if queen d4, but then rook d8. So rook d1 is the main skewering resource. So this is comfortable positioning, and I like the vacuum. It fills me with confidence that there's a lot of weaknesses here. Also, this c pawn is also kind of dangerous. Can I just play c5 and takes c6 and c7? Just drive it through. I think I'm going to go for that actually. c5 looks pretty good, and it would rip open this line anyway. So queen d4, c6. There's knight c5. Oh, that's annoying. Knight c5. I guess I've got to play it now anyway, because I've got queen e2 at the very least, or queen b5. Or do I consider rook c5? Rook c5, queen takes, there's c7. Sorry, pawn takes, there'll be c7. But then queen d7. So how about just queen e2, just attacking g4? I'm going to go for the win here, ruthlessly. Queen b5 keeps a lot of pressure as well. The idea of maybe a5. Queen b5. If queen d3, there's rook takes c5. Or just, I don't know, queen e2 still strikes me. I'll try queen e2 actually, just attacking g4. It's only got about 10 seconds left. So I can take on g4 with the knight. Or how about rook c4, trying to create a nice attack. I think rook c4. He's got check. Okay. I think queen c2 check now. Trying to get on these light squares. Right. Now, rook takes c5 here. I think there's a dangerous combination of queen and knight coming up, because I know it's the e5. I get knight c4 to e5. So that's immune now to knight e5 check. Anyway, lost in time here. It's an exciting game. I'm being a bit cruel on time pressure, but you know, if they're going to spend that time then to be a perfectionist, then there's a price to be paid on 5-minute chess. So yeah, I went for it with this, but I think black's under a bit of pressure now because of knight c4 to e5 and this passed pawn in any case. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.